Hey, my name's Gareth. I'm a graphic designer and I run AcidWorks.
I'm Alex. I'm a graphic designer as well, and I have a small design studio in Manchester called Bersier Creative.
Yep. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm a recovering graphic designer. I'm now technically a creative director / innovation consultant.
My name is Renil. I work for a company called Majid Double Team, and I lead a product design specifically looking after Share.
Hi, I'm a graphic designer and I work at Formulate Creative in Dubai, and I've been in Dubai about a year now.
Hi, so I'm a junior graphic designer and photographer, currently working for AcidWorks with Garrett and based in Portugal.
My name is Pascal. The last 2 years, I've been running a company called Startable, which is business setup corporate services.
Let's play a little game. What's it like in one word to work in the city where you live?
I'm going to go with something positive, which is not all of it will be as vibrant.
Without sounding cringy, I would genuinely say electric.
Ambitious.
Speed for Dubai.
Progressive.
I've always found it fascinating how much there is like a predefined mindset about Dubai or the Middle East. When I go home, as you'll all sort of experience, I'm forever being told like, oh, well, you cannot even get a pint there, can you? And I'm like, I heard the same thing 15 years ago, and it's incredible how mindsets are still exactly the same after 15 years.
I'll add something if that's all right. Also, I'm cooking as well right now, if you don't mind. I moved to London straight after graduating from Glasgow. And London and Dubai, they're kind of similar because they're hubs of people that have got ambition, people that deliberately want to move there to further their career. A lot of that cross-pollination of ideas. So there are certain cities that really work well like that. And I've also done the opposite. I've worked in some smaller cities. You see a completely different mindset, very much like a this is how it's always been mindset, But I think London, Dubai, definitely a lot of ambition in there.
I think it's an interesting place, because of there's so many different expatriates here, and everybody comes from a different background, and they have an entire history that they bring with them. For me, South Africa is Cape Town, where I'm from, is a very progressive city. And when you come to Dubai, because of how regulation changes all the time, or how new technology gets brought in and kind of just blown out of proportion, it's like you're constantly pursuing that.
It's a weird dichotomy, Dubai, in the sense that you have this progressive side to them. You only have to look at photos from 30 odd years ago, not even that, to see how much it's pushed on and come forward. There's still a lot of work to do in building the maturity of design within the region to get it up to the level of other places.
It's just very interesting here, the way that everyone can sort of pour their skills in, especially when you work in an agency, and then everyone can just take something away from that, no matter what level you're at.
In the Middle East generally is the place where stuff just happens rapidly, right? And people being able to expand their careers by being on that wave. I don't think there's anywhere else in the world that is like that.
In the Northeast, I think there's just kind of a bit of a barrier on kind of where people's minds are at and where you can take things. And for me personally, I just felt as soon as I came down here nearly 4 years ago, everything just kind of seemed to open up for us. People who just kind of get it and just have that same mindset. And I feel like I wanted that for so long.
Can I add on to that? I think I did a post, actually, the value is to push yourself into these spaces that are going to be challenging, that are going to be difficult, and go to other places as well. Because when you do make that move, and I'm from the Northeast as well, there are some good people there, but you're right, that mindset, that kind of desire to kind of go above and beyond, and just the overall skill level is the ceiling is quite low. And when you move into those bigger ponds, then it just naturally pushes and grows you.
Absolutely.
The reason that I really love Dubai is the same reason why my brothers, for example, hate it here. The reason why I like it here is because of my single answer, which is the word speech, right? I love that everyone here is trying to build something. I like that people are moving here with ambition, so it's attracting ambitious people with similar sort of mindset, personality.
Compared to Portugal, you don't have that. You don't have the creative side of stuff even. You don't have, business don't have a branding. People don't understand what branding is still.
I mean, I remember when I got back from London, when I worked there as a 21-year-old lad, and I got back and I thought I was like Superman coming home, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm going to get any design job in any agency in Newcastle when I'm finished uni. And I couldn't get a job. But I thought that in my head, because London had sort of made me think that it sort of opened my mind and made me more ambitious and all that, but I still didn't get the job. Could have been the Pronto-Print manager. Like, that's like an alternative universe, you know what I mean? Could have happened.
I had many designers from Newcastle who did just that. They were good designers. They ended up working for printers.
It's the scale of ambition that you're exposed to, or the scale of opportunity that you're exposed to, right? Because for me, having a job at Pronto-Print when I was a student out of uni was a big step forward. I keep on saying Pronto-Print, could have just been anywhere.
It is sometimes good to get those jobs that you think are amazing, but then if you're a lifelong learner, like obviously we all are, others will be on this call, you find that you develop, especially if you put yourself, I think like Chris said, in different environments where people force you to level up your game, you move past those things quite quickly.
Because I actually started at Printers.
How cool.
So through
So
that Printers job, they were a franchisee. So I got a job at their main franchise, which led to like a lot of production skills and like signage skills. But then those skills were handy to like an agency because they were just a lot of print work. So then I got into an agency as a junior, and then from a junior, I like came to Dubai, became a midweight for a proper brand agency.
So there's a lot of people that are really good at imitating something that's already finished. The idea is that if you are copying something, you have to understand what you are copying. Are you copying, like you said, Chris, are you copying visual hierarchy? Are you copying someone's deep comprehension of typography? All these things are so important, and that's just static. And then when it comes to product design or, website design, you've got to think about motion as well. And there's a sad thing where there's a lot of designers out of work, but I sometimes say how many of them are actually designers. They're people that can use Figma, but they're not necessarily designers. I can use a hammer and a nail, but I certainly don't call myself a builder.
I think they get found out when it gets to the point where they can't fix they can't change their solution to the client, and they don't know how to do that. Because you can copy something, but if you don't understand it.
Like I started off in a digital design where I designed websites, but I loved Flash, Macromedia Flash. I don't know if you guys remember that old beast of a tool.
This is a good hack, right, to students, is that if you can learn how to act, you'll raise in your career dramatically faster than everyone else, even if you're the best designer in the room, because you're the guy that gets invited to the client meetings and the managing director's dinner and all of that. And I've seen this in real time with big consulting companies. I used to work with a creative director, and I think once he said, I don't really do branding. And I was like, well, what do you do? You're creative director of the branding team. And it was something like ridiculous like that. And I was just pulling my hair out. Who are these mugs I'm working with? Do you know what I mean? And but they're still working there. They didn't shout, they didn't make any noise, they just chatted shit, and they're still in companies and still getting paid. And
I still have a massive love for sitting at a Mac for 8 hours a day and designing, and I just can't do that anymore.
There's a lot of stuff that I've learned within the similar space about going into leadership and management. My advice to you would be try to outsource as many things as you can, especially the ones that you hate. There's things that you don't like, accountancy, even if it has to be marketing or whatever, get rid of it, get it onto someone else's plate and do it for you, because they'll probably do a better job as well.
And this goes to the teaching part that you guys were talking. That's not taught, or at least wasn't for me. It was a very thin chapter in uni.
The test project I got given probably changed my life, because it was, how do you create a cabin crew recruitment experience? The AirPod 2 just came out, which had a camera in it. So I did this whole thing about the camera can record you, and it can record you unexpectedly. And it could be like an angry customer pretending to shout at you, and it records the response of the person.
Something really weird about the design industry being the only one where you have to do a test project. If I've got shit coming out of my toilet and I've got a plumber lined up, I'm not going to ask him to do it as a test. I'm going to be like, I need this cleaned up. Do it and I'll pay you whatever you need,
At all of the companies that I've worked for, there's always been people come in who have been, completely unqualified for what they're trying to do. And it causes a huge amount of problems for the companies then.
I applied for a role, and I specifically said to them at the stage 2 of the interview, I won't do a design task. I got an email 3 days later saying they absolutely loved you. They want you to do a task now. And I replied, here we are, I found it. I said, I don't have time because I've got a full-time job and I've got 2 kids. I said, instead of a design task, why don't we do a brainstorming session with the team that I'm likely to work with? This way they understand how each of us collaborates, ideates, and communicates with each other. After all, Plato did say you learn more about a person in an hour of play over a lifetime of conversation. And then they ghosted me. So
I like that.
that told me enough about them.
Yeah.
You're a smart ass.
I like that idea.
But yeah, I can't really respond to anything else to you're a smart arse. You've got me there. I don't know what else to say.
Hit the nail on the
Yes.
head. All right, let's wrap up. But it's been a blast. Thank you all for attending again. We will chat in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Gareth.
That's what
All
very
good.
good.
All right.
Good to see you
Thank you,
later.
everyone.
Bye.
Really again.
But then that'll just set. Oh, that's the f***ing alien. I like that dude on the TV.
Gareth, you
I'll
can say
turn
one.
it off. Ah!
No, we should have said, no, you're not an alien. The video's fine. Fine.